Welcome, my name is Seti and I talk about living and thriving and everything in between that. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. If this is your first time, thank you. And if you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much. Yep, and today's video is a follow-up, kind of a follow-up on last week's video where I talked about how to, save some coins while shopping for grocery. If you have not watched that video, please now watch it. Watch it. It's to save your own money. It's not my money. It's your money that will be saved. Watch it. Thank you. And share. That's for last week. Then come back, and after you watch this one, or while you are even watching, please share as well. Thank you. This video is actually for Nigerians in the diaspora, but most of what I'm talking about today is for like those in Canada, because I live in Canada right now, so I can talk from someone living in Canada's perspective, right? But please tell me about what I'm about to talk about now, like how you handle such wherever you are watching this from. I would like to hear. And if you're also in Canada, I'd like to hear. I'll be talking about sourcing for the items we used while we were back home and we still need right now, how to source for them here, a more affordable way of sourcing for them actually. So these are tips. If you already have a system that works for you, disclaimer, please go ahead. I'm just sharing some of my findings and I think it might be helpful to someone. At least something here might be helpful, right? So grocery items like beans, zobo, goat meat, like how to get them in Canada, like without breaking the bank, I'll be starting with beans because I mentioned beans already. We have these beans in Nigeria called oloyin beans. It's translated as honey beans, right? And I feel like there's a significant difference when you use oloyin to make your normal stewed beans, right? There's a significant difference. I'm not here to contest that. Please, I don't even have any substitute yet. If you have a substitute for oloyin beans, kindly let me know. But for other things we use beans for, such as moi moi, which is beans pudding, and akara, which is beans cake, right? Personally, I use white-eyed beans because oloyin here is slightly more expensive than white-eyed beans. So, and I buy white-eyed beans from the grocery store. So any grocery store around you, such as Walmart, Superstore, they have the white-eyed beans. I use white-eyed beans for my moi moi and for my akara. For oloyin, stays undisputed for beans. This is just for, as I mentioned, moi moi and akara, right? And this goes for about $4, 3 point something dollars, about $4, right? I think in Nigeria also, please confirm if I'm wrong, there's also a price difference, between this black-eyed beans, rather, not white-eyed beans, black-eyed beans and oloyin beans. So that way it just saves me more money. I know that my oloyin beans is strictly for normal beans. Right? Okay, the next thing I'll be talking about is tapioca. Growing up, I used to eat tapioca once in a while, not very often, but I realized in the past 2-3 years I've really liked tapioca. If you have an open mind and just give it a try. So the tapioca I have right now is gotten recently from Nigeria. This is what it looks like, the tapioca from Nigeria. But before I got this recent batch from Nigeria, I needed to be sourcing for tapioca, and someone introduced me to an Asian store. So generally Asian stores, most big Asian stores have tapioca, but they wouldn't look like this. The tapiocas in the Asian stores, they look like pearls. They come in like pearl shape. I'll put a picture somewhere here of what the tapioca in the Asian stores look like, okay? So that really works. You don't have to, start sourcing for tapioca or buying it really expensive from African stores. Grocery stores also have it, like Superstore. I saw in Superstore last week for the first time, the tapioca pearls. Next thing I'll be talking about is seasoning cubes. Some of us already have a particular style of cooking, or are used to a particular flavor, from different seasoning cubes. But I came and there was a season of the year that the seasoning cubes were really hard to crack. I'm like kilo day, and then that was when I bought powdered seasoning cubes from the normal grocery store, and since then, best believe I've been hooked. Like, I've introduced this to my friends and they now even buy the really large size. So this is in every normal local grocery store around you. This is nice, but you can give it a try. If you don't like it, please move ahead. You don't even have to give it a try if you already have a system and if you don't want to try something new. Thank you. Next thing I'm talking about is noodles. Like 2 years ago, I used to buy a particular type of Indomie. It used to be like $2 for a pack of 5. Mind you, this is not the Indomie that we are used to back home in Nigeria. So I finished the Indomie I had from Nigeria, and I wanted Indomie, and I'm like, okay, let me give this a try. I couldn't go to an African store at the time, so I saw this in the grocery store, and honestly, it's different from Nigerian Indomie, but it's been working for me. So if you don't have an African store around you, you can try this. And a plus in trying this is that if you check the nutrition facts, the sodium level is way lower than the sodium level of the Nigerian Indomie. This is strictly for Indomie noodles, right? So the sodium here is 770 milligrams, which is 33% per pack. So I will check the normal Indomie and I'll put the sodium content here as well, so that you can see the difference. So I'm like, okay, I've gotten used to this. Like, it's not bad, it's just noodles, but it is not Indomie. Disclaimer, like, it's not Nigerian Indomie taste. Next thing I'll quickly be talking about here is, I notice I'm saying talking. Hey, talking. Next thing I'll quickly talk about here is goat meat. So for goat meat, if you have an abattoir around you, sure, if you have like maybe a group of people that buy things from abattoir where you can share a goat or take a part of a goat, by all means. But if you want to buy in smaller quantities, where I have found so far is an Asian store. So if you find like a big Asian store, you can do most of these purchases from the Asian store. And I'll show you the one I bought from the Asian store. It's called Goat Cube. I don't know if you can see that, the wrote Goat Cube. This is like half of what I bought. I've made about half of this, and it just tastes like the normal Nigerian goat meat. It's just that it was pre-cut in the Asian store in cubes. Maybe some Asian stores do not cut it, but I found that the price was affordable, since I wasn't ready to buy a very large quantity. I wanted to buy something small that was also affordable, because for the longest time I didn't eat goat meat because the prices I was saying. Anyways, but this really works, and this was gotten from a grocery store. Something I don't have yet, but I'll also mention, is chicken. Nigerian chicken is hard. Coming here, I noticed that most of the chicken in the grocery stores were soft. You know, sometimes they're nice, you just grill them and they're good to go, but if you eat them back to back, something like me, you get tired. So I told someone about it, and she was like, oh, I should try hen in the grocery store. And I tried hen, and hen gave me the same feel as, you know, Nigerian chicken. But like, if you have someone that's ready to deliver if you have someone that's ready to deliver chicken from an African store, you can also buy chicken from there, right? If that works for you. But if you're not anywhere around there and you just have access to a grocery store, buy hen. The last thing I'll be talking about in today's video, the last grocery item, is Zobo. What am I dancing for, Zobo? So I actually found this while I went to buy the goat meat in the Asian store, and I was like, it was in the Asian store. And for those that love Zobo from Nigeria, it's called sun-dried cereal, and this was like $2 or $3, and I'm like, okay, not bad at all. So I just thought to share these tips with you. And remember, I'd like to see your comments down below, what type of videos you like to see from me. Was this helpful in any way? And please remember to share. Just share. You don't know, for you might already have a system that works, but for someone that is just starting life, this might be a lifesaver for the person, okay? And if you have not subscribed, please subscribe. Thank you so much. Have a lovely day. Bye.